Welcome to the Kinjaz Podkast. Here we will discuss dance, life, and whatever the we want.
Welcome back to the Kinjaz Podkast, Moving in the Shadows. We are your hosts, Ben,
Charles, and you got Mike Fat.
and we have a very special guest today. I'm going to try to do this intro the best that I can. We have B-Girl Extraordinaire, urban dance aspiring leader, representing Underground Flow, and the Lab 24/7, and vegan. We have Logan Logistx Edra with her dad Herren in the house. Welcome. I had to talk about the vegan thing because that's super interesting. I think you are the youngest vegan I know.
For sure.
So, explain to us, vegan, why? What happened? What made you go there?
So Underground Flow is led by Villain Impact, and my mentor Val Pal, she's also on Underground Flow. She was like my first mentor ever.
Yep.
All three of them are plant-based eaters, and that's like vegan, vegetarian.
Sure.
And whenever we would like session or hang out, they would always like bring us after to like eat with them or hang out, and then they'd kind of like drop knowledge here and there. But I wasn't really like, because I was like McDonald's every day, just really bad processed food. And then one day I just got like curious, and I had school, but like I woke up really early, and then I was like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about with all this vegan stuff. And then I decided to like research out of just curiosity. And then I was like, top 10 reasons why you should go vegan. And then it led me to all these sources. And then I watched like all the Netflix films, and like I feel like the main reason why I'm vegan is for the animals, because I look at my pets and then I look at like a pig or a cow or whatever. And they say like there's like no difference between like different animals. Mm-hmm. If that's it, yeah. I mean, everyone has a different opinion, so I'm not gonna like push anyone to like go vegan, but that's just what I believe in. I think the same goes with my dad, but there's also health benefits that I've seen. But my main reason is just like for ethical reasons, I guess.
Did you watch What the Health on Netflix?
Yes, I watched What the Health.
That's what turned me. I'm not vegan. I'm vegetarian. I'm not quite there. I'm an aspiring vegan. I feel like whenever vegan is available, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not always like readily available like everywhere you go, especially like when you travel and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
But speaking of it, how old are you for our audience?
I'm 15 years
15 years old.
Years old.
And at what age did you start dance?
Oh, I started dancing when I was 8.
Whoa.
Yeah.
8 years old.
8 years old.
And like, why? What got you into it?
Oh. Okay, this is a huge part, but, so I started actually, singing first.
Singing. Yeah.
I was singing super shy, just quiet, and like I didn't even want to start dancing. My dad asked me if I wanted to start dancing. I was like, I'm good, I'll just
I had to trick her.
Trick her into dancing.
Yeah, literally. The crazy thing was like she started off at a technical dance studio.
Oh yeah.
And like this is a funny story.
Like ballet.
She was there for like 6 months. I think she was like maybe 6 or 7 years old, and like those type of studios, like you have their like their year-end shows or whatever, and she was in a bunch of pieces, and you have to pay like for the costumes and like all that stuff, and I straight up asked the owner of the studio, who her mom was like the seamstress, and I was just like, how come like costumes are like so expensive, and like I'm double, like I was basically asking, I was like, are you just double dipping? Yeah, I straight up asked her, and she was just she basically just told me like, well, if you don't like it, then she doesn't have to be in like all these pieces. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And I think like the next day I was like, we're done with this. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And it was just, like I didn't think she really fit in there to begin with. I just felt like that wasn't her thing. It was more something like, it's something that we wanted her to experience. and you know, she tried sports and she tried a bunch of other things, but I don't think I ever saw her as like being like a athletic.
Okay.
You know, in some respects.
Whoa.
Which is
That's
crazy, right?
crazy.
Yeah. No, because I played tennis like in high school and in college, and you know, I tried to like give her tennis lessons, and most of the time I would just be kind of on the verge of just being like, you suck.
You're not good at sports.
Like I give you props, man, because like a lot of parents don't keep it real with their kids, right? Like they want their kids, oh yeah, honey, you're a great singer, and they're just like horrible, and that you're not doing your kid a service by like telling them that they're good at something that they're not. So props to you, man.
We have discussions about this all the time, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna be realistic because you're basically wasting your time. You're basically wasting time and money, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know, Logan is, you know, she is in, you know, the dance industry, and she experiences it all the time. And I see parents all the time where they're just so high on their kids. And I mean, I'm not judging anyone, but I'm just, they sell them. Like they sell them like at a you know, like a Google stock, but they should maybe be trading at like a Walmart stock. You know, like be more real. Realistic. So yeah, I keep it real with her, and I'm sure we'll get into the whole things about like how our dynamics are, and our relationship is, and you know, like a lot of times I feel like I treat her more like a son than I do. So we'll get into that. It's some interesting stuff.
I love this.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, speaking of which, then, so like most parents don't really encourage their kids to pursue the arts, right? Like, especially something like dance. Dance is kind of at the bottom of the barrel, even within the arts, in terms of what people think are a successful career route. So. Why were you so confident that Logan should pursue something like dance, and what was your process in like supporting that?
Honestly, I think it just had to do with like her passion for it.
Okay.
You know, and just like her abilities in it. You know, like right away, I saw something. You know, because she started. You know, long story short, like I did have to trick her into doing like more like hip hop classes. Brought her to like this church where they taught like after school dance, you know, and I had to trick her. I literally had to like be like, you're gonna do an art class. You're gonna do an art class.
Logan's
drawing.
Like,
drawing.
There's a drawing.
And I brought her in there, and she was like, "Where are the tables to like draw?" And I was like, "Psych, you're doing it." You know,
5, 6, 7.
You know?
So
but that's my
fun.
thing, yeah. But I think from a very young age, I saw her her drive and her determination. Like one thing I know about her is
Wait,
like,
did you dance coming up? Were you a dancer?
I did dance at my college. I went to Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara, and I joined like the PCN, and I was and the reason why was because there was a girl, and I was trying to get with this girl, and I was like, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna try to do this as best I could. I would say I was probably like a 5. You know? She was like a 10. You know,
it's all good,
and that was the only reason why I did it. And man, like I probably like was one of those delusional people where I was like, man, I'm really good at this, you know. But I look back at it and I'm like, man, I sucked. But I did not do any. I did, you know, during the whole like flash dance era, the 80s era, you know, like fake breaking, you know, like things like that.
Oh, you mean freaking?
Yeah. I freaking freak. But, you know, I never got to the level, the first 5 months of her level of breaking was already better than me at like what I tried to train over like 3 years, you know, of doing breaking. So, as a dancer, no, but I feel that I know it looks good. So I think that's like where our energies are really good. I call her the video game, like the human video game. Because like when she's breaking, I'll just be like, do this. And she'll literally just, I'll call out a combo and I'll be like, try it. And she's like, I've never done it. I'm like, just try it. And I would say like 9 times out of 10, she could like execute that combo.
So sick.
So,
Amazing.
Are you saying that you have you see these moves as plays, and you just throw these at Logan, and then she completes these missions of yours 9 out of 10 times.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
All right, I just want to make that clear.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But I think to answer your question, I think it was for me was I just saw her passion and like she never quit. Like that was one thing. Is like she never quit anything that she ever started.
Yeah, I think one thing that helped with the discipline was like gymnastics, I think, because it helped me learn how to have self-discipline and not like give up, because that was so
Was
difficult.
Gymnastics before dancing?
It was like right after I started breaking, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
I'd probably say a year or two.
So you're kind of doing that hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was doing it at the same time. Yeah.
And
I think it was like we saw it as an opportunity where she can kind of like be in a sport, but also kind of like use that for dance too, especially breaking. But I think that's when she like really went from like a point of just like her growth. Her athleticism was just ridiculous. Like when she did gymnastics.
Yeah.
So it was crazy.
How did you meet Val Powell and Bill and Impact? How did you get associated with UGF?
Culture shock. So I went to after I went to that like the after school dance stuff at the church, the teacher recommended me to go to Culture Shock, and there I I took like beginner like choreo, and I saw Val teaching a breaking class to like all these kids, and I was like, that's interesting. I've never seen like a girl teach breaking, because it's like always guys doing it. And I was like, I wanna try this, because I see a girl teaching it, and it's like, that's really, really cool. And then I decided to take the class. And then eventually, Val and I grew really close.
She was like a little stalker though. Like she was like a little Val stalker.
No, it's so true. I was looking her up on YouTube.
She would be like, go check when she's teaching, and she would
YouTube videos.
Yeah, it was like she would
College
stalk her.
idols.
Like every time she would have class, she'd be like, Val's teaching, can we go to class? So it was
Hell
cool.
yeah.
It was cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best
But then
thing
I
I've
think-
ever heard.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like, especially when you really like something, you kind of you obsess over it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's how you really show that you love something. And so, especially when you have somebody that you would like to mentor you, I think it's great to be about their life like that, right?
Yeah, and I was always like with Underground Flow. I never thought I was gonna be in Underground Flow. It was like my dream crew to just like be part of. And then Val decided to mentor me. Like I remember she came up to me this one time in class. I remember that moment, and I was like, "Are you really saying this right now?" Because like I never thought you would ask me to like help and teach me. And so she would like come over to our house like every week or so. And then like we'd like session for like a few hours, and then we'd just like hang out, and we grew not only as like dance B sisters or like B girls, but like we really got close, and she met my family, and it was just really a connection that we had.
Yeah, what was cool was that like she trained with Val for like an entire year, before she got down with her crew. But like, have a funny story though was that I won't name this other crew, but like there was another crew that's very well known.
Well, I so want to know this crew.
They like tried to kind of like recruit Logan, right?
Okay.
And like we let Val know, and like I think they went in like full panic mode, and it was like Val, Villain, like they told us a story how they were like they called the bat phone. They were like, we gotta get everyone in the crew, we gotta let everyone know what's going on. Like we're trying to get this girl down, but Val's intention was like she wanted to do it on her birthday. Like ask her to get down with the crew on her birthday.
Okay.
And it was, I would probably say like a week or two before that. And they like drove down to San Diego, and they were like, can we just meet with you guys? Like we just want to like meet with you guys. It was like Villain, I remember it was Villain and Val. And they're like, can we just meet up with you guys? Like we just want to talk to you guys about it. And they were just like, you weren't there, right? No, it was just me and Logan's mom at the time. And they basically were just like, this whole time we've been planning to get her down, but like we wanted to wait until her birthday. And it was just like such a relief, because it was like, we knew it was right. We were just like, you know what? Like what we're even doing, like even entertaining anyone else, like kind of like bad on our end. But, long story short, they were just like, they drove down, and we were just like, you know what, like this feels right. This is family to us. So,
That should be a movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that should be a freaking movie with B-boys showing up at your door. Be like, your daughter home?
It's like, why?
Get the strap.
Man.
That's tight.
Yeah.
What is your training like? What, like your training regimen? I see the videos that you post up on your IG. It's intense. It's really intense.
It's
like,
crazy.
Talk about your training. What do you do? What's that like?
My schedule's super it changes a lot, but I try to work out almost every day. If I need to rest my body, I will, but I'll still involve some type of thing where I'm being educated or watching dance or just thinking about things that are involved in what I'm doing. But I like to when I work out, it's a combination of almost everything that I do. So I'll use breaking, power moves, because that's a lot of strength, and I just have to train those moves anyways. And stamina is such a hard thing that you have to have for dance in general. Is whether it's performances or videos or whatever. That's So that's why I used to do for arena. I was doing burpees every day and trying to top it every single day. I started at 100 because there's this thing.
It started at 100 burpees.
No, well, we got corrected.
Gotta warm up.
We did.
We got corrected because they were like, well, a burpee is when
with
you
a
actually
push-up.
do a push-up.
But the ones at the lab, we do these things called cherry pickers. It's you just jump and then you go into a push-up position, but you don't actually do a push-up. And so I started.
Like a
Plank. Yeah.
Jump to a plank.
Yeah.
Jump plank.
Okay.
Cherry pickers. I started at 100, and I was like, let me see if I could just top it every single day, as long as I do that amount or more. And I got up to 530, I think.
What in the world?
That's a Guinness
So
World Record.
difficult.
Guinness World
So
Record in the dance
difficult.
community.
I think that is.
Wait, what?
So we do this thing called Death by Burpees, and we do that before a rehearsal as a warm up or whatever. And we try to do as many as you can. You pretty much do one and then you rest until you hit the minute mark and you just add one.
Don't
on.
mention any numbers, Ben, please.
I got to almost 100. Almost 100.
Yeah, I was
Real
90s.
burpees.
Real burpees with the push up, down to the floor, jumping up and all that. And then I'm, pretty gassed. And I'm like, I think I'm good. I'm stopping here. And then Mike said, yo, dude, Logan does 400 of these.
No. It was funny because we would come in here and we would set Logan would session with the twins, and man, Logan was like, "Come work out with me, guys," and they were like, Impact's like, I'm down. I'm down, right? And dude, he literally I went on live and Logan was, they were doing the burpees. They were doing them, and it was going on for at least a couple of songs, right? And it was fun. Impact was like, I'm dead. And on Logan's live, her Instagram live, and they were people man, is that guy all right? He looks done. So it was funny. It was she just kept going. She was doing it to the beat.
So difficult.
And
Doing it to the beat?
Yeah, I tried.
To the beat.
And what was funny was the last 10 Impact came out and he was like, yeah! And he finished the last 10 and he was like, hell yeah. He was like, I'm there for support, but you know what? Let me work up to your level. So,
Yeah. So it seems like a lot of the stuff that you do for workout is functional. So a lot of the stuff that you directly do within your dance is what you do to train for your workout.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like knocking multiple birds with one stone type of thing, because then I used to do just straight workouts that weren't as functional, but it was kind of, I guess, wasting time, and I could be saving it by combining stacks or freezes, or adding in a power move here, or some footwork for cardio or something. But I think using it helps save time.
I've definitely seen your burpee variations where you do the floor work and then you throw a flare in there, and then I was like, holy moly, what's going on?
Yeah, and then there was and then you freestyle, you get up and you just freestyle for a minute.
Oh yeah.
You go back into it.
Yeah, I was doing, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was doing a circuit thing, because I combined what I learned in gymnastics too, because I noticed what was effective is they would do circuits and then just move through each station that was like activating different muscles, so this one isn't tired the next time. But I would do like a burpee station with like it was like a variation, and then I would go up and just do upper body freestyle, which I got from Super Dave when I would take his class.
Yeah.
So I was like, this isn't
Shout
like a
out to Super
full
Dave.
body. Yeah, shout out Super Dave. It wasn't involving my whole body, so I would just do upper body and then do another workout that was like super tiring, and then a lower body freestyle, and then just do that like 5 times, and then work.
I'm exhausted listening.
Yeah, I stopped at burpee station.
Are you in school right now?
I'm like technically on summer break, but I'm still banking like math or something. Yeah.
So what grade would you be right now then?
10th.
10th grade.
But she's graduating in 2 years. She's going to graduate early.
Okay,
Nice.
So, yeah. That's amazing.
I graduated at 17 too.
Yeah.
But that was like 3 days before my birthday.
June 24th.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, that's not right.
I was about to be like, dang, I'm freaking clairvoyant too.
Oh no.
It's a good guess.
So when did like the urban choreo like when were you interested in that, from like transitioning from just like being a B-girl to like when did choreography kind of enter your life?
I would also I'd say Culture Shock is a huge part of that, because when I would go to Val's class or any breaking class at Culture Shock, they offer like almost all styles, and I would actually take cardio hip hop with my parents first.
Oh,
Cardio
tight.
And then I moved through beginning and then intermediate, advanced, and then eventually, I just worked my way up, and I tried out for Mighty Shock, and the first time I did not make it. I was like, what?
It was crazy. It was
so sad.
It was good for her though. It was good because it just motivated her.
Yeah.
Like something inside her it was like clicked after that. Like she was like, I want to get better at breaking and I want to get better at choreo.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a cool thing. Like I was just saying like, you know what? Like forget these, like these junior classes. Like let's just go straight to the adult classes. She was like 9 or 10 years old doing like adult classes.
I was kind of scared. But.
And I think at the time it wasn't as accepted, but I was just like, that's the way that you're gonna learn. You're gonna just like really learn how to just, get the movements.
Yeah, I would take Ving's class at the Frenemy slot.
Whoa.
And I would like struggle the whole time. I couldn't, Oh, but that really helped my pickup though, because I would learn how to pick up choreo fast.
Yeah.
But oh man, I just remember like getting like 2 8 counts and then that's it. Like I wouldn't.
I've had that feeling from Bing too.
It's like we all have it.
It's not the best feeling.
No, but I mean, what you just said, getting rejected from something the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it could do one of two things. It could discourage you and make you quit, right? Or it could just fire you up and motivate you to just keep working harder and harder, and look where you're at.
I think Logan's had these checkpoints along the way, like especially like the rejection checkpoints.
For sure.
Yeah, like whether it be in the industry, whether it be just like community-wise, personal. But like I know for a fact, like she just comes back. Like she'll come back even stronger from it. So that's a good thing. It's like she learns from that.
Yeah.
Where do you think you get that from?
That
resilience? Grit to just
Not me, because I quit.
Where do I get it from? I think now. I actually do think I get it from you, because when I was genetically, but like if it's like when I think about what I'm thinking about when I'm like pushing through the more difficult times, I usually connect back to like the why behind everything, and it's like whether it's like why I started or why I want to keep going, it's like usually so strong it like just pushes me to keep going. Like even like burpees alone, I had to connect back to that reason many times, because that helped me get through it. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm still really young, so I'm not gonna like place what's the name? I'm not gonna like say exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I have a good enough sense of purpose to like help motivate me keep going or push through whatever I need to push through.
I'm tripping out because I mean you're 15 years old and you're talking about like knowing your why. Like those are things that like people our age don't even know. And,
I
you
think
know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
learned about those things the other day.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, you are young. You're 15. You don't have to have all the answers. But what is your why right now? Like, what is the thing that inspires you with dance to push the way that you do and train the way that you train?
I think there's multiple reasons. I think one huge reason is the ability to like inspire other people of like all kinds. So like I've been at like events or like classes or jams, and people will just come up to me and be like, I started dancing because of you, or like I did this because I saw your video. And sometimes it's from like people in like China, and I'm like, are you serious? Like I had no idea people over there like could see my stuff. So that just like trips me out, because I'm like, like I can't believe like you saw my stuff and you were able to like, you got inspired by what I'm doing. It's like that is a huge, definitely reason why I'm motivated to keep going. What's another one? That's a huge one.
Who inspires you? Who are like your dance inspirations?
Many for different reasons.
Sure.
Off the top,
I mean, obviously like the San Diego community, because that's where she grew up.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously like Keone and Mari being from San Diego. Chris Martin is a big one. Like how he fuses everything he's doing, pushing boundaries, and Larkin too.
Yeah.
There's so many. Obviously, Cloud is one, because he's just like, when I see him, he's just like a natural born artist, I feel.
Absolutely.
Can't even classify him just like as a b-boy.
Yeah.
He's just a mover.
He's art.
Yeah.
He is his art.
Yeah.
He's just art.
Yeah.
Who are
Showtime.
Oh yeah, Showtime. He's like
Definitely.
still.
Super Dave.
Super Dave is a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Japanese B-girls. Funny
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is like I would jokingly, I'll be like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And Logan's like, I want to be a Japanese B-girl. because they're killing
They're so
killing the game right now.
good.
Like
Ayumi and Narumi have been some of my inspirations for a long time.
Ami.
Ami, she's killing it right now.
Like probably the best B-girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that's a great thing, is like Logan still aspires to do something in the breaking game. Like he still sees it, and she's still young, but like I think she struggled with that for a long time.
There was like, I remember it's when Val, we were training, and then I think she had to move to LA for like a job. What was it?
I think she for her job.
And then it was just like me and in San Diego, and I would go to sessions, and the guys are cool, but they're just like adult men, and then like I'm like this little and I'd get like a little bit intimidated like walking into sessions or like jams, because I'd feel almost like the only one of my type there, and it was a struggle for a little while, because like as far as motivation, I was kind of like, I was just scared, and I was like, I would train, but it would be mostly like at home. But I feel like seeing other girls do what they do, like Sora was a huge inspiration for me, because she's able to like she's like able to break the stereotypes of like little Asian girls in like dance. Obviously the Japanese B girls really inspired me. Other people really inspired me to like keep pushing, and then eventually when we moved to LA, I was able to like kind of discover my love for breaking again. I think it was when I got invited to go to Silverback last year. And that was a huge one, because I was like, well, I didn't know people over there knew me too. I was like, what? And then it was like a youth breaking camp, and I was the only girl who got invited to that kids camp. Oh yeah, and then there was one here, right?
Yeah.
And then that really inspired me. Just that whole experience inspired me to like just keep, because I felt like what I was doing was like meaningful, and like I should be doing it.
But to go back for that, is that crazy story was, I think this was like maybe 3 years ago, and with Logan, like for her, for like in the choreo scene and the urban dance scene, I'm pretty hands off with her. I'm gonna just let you do your thing. But like the connection that I have with her with breaking is that like literally I would spend hours and hours with her, like like sessioning, just sitting there with her and just kind of like really just like being there for her. And I think I got to the point that like I pushed her hard, and I think like as a detriment, like I think she started hating breaking because of that. And I felt bad. Like this one day she came up to me and she was just like, I want to quit breaking. And like everything like sunk down in me. Like I wanted to cry. I literally wanted to cry. I was like, man, like what did I do? Like it I think I knew like what I did was I pushed her a little bit too hard. And I think, at that point I had to be like,
I just remember struggling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At that point I knew I had to be like, you know what? Like I can no longer be like this.
Yeah. And
like let her do everything organically. And I think, for parents, like if parents are going to watch this podcast, it's like one of those things where a sport or dance or something that your kid is like really good at is that you got to find like what their boundaries are.
Sure.
Because if you don't, like they just end up like hating the very thing that like they could be, that they used to love and that they're so good at. So I would just say like my advice my advice for parents would just be to watch that, monitor that.
Sure.
You got your kids that are like really special in something, that really excel in something. Like don't let them get burnt down. Don't let them get burnt out from it. And I think that's where the urban dance scene like really helped Logan.
Sure.
Like coping with that and being like another outlet for her where she could find something that's still like so beautiful and like
still dancing.
Yeah. So I told her, I was just like, okay, you know what? Like, you don't have to battle anymore, but, like, I still want you to train at least, and, like, what you're doing at least.
I was still doing gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
So I was still, like, strong and, working out.
So, long story short, she told me that, and I kind of had to, like, lay off. And I think for, like, 2 years, she barely battled. She barely was, like, in the scene at all.
But that's when I feel like I grew a lot, too. Because I discovered contemporary, and I was, like, trying these new things, like... taking new classes and
So it was great because I let her go back. She went back on her own terms. Yeah. And like now I still see the passion there, but I don't think I would ever go back to that point again of pushing her so hard. I want her to just like do it on her own. Like that's why when she enters jams, battles, all style battles, like it's all on her. Like it's all her being like, I want to do it. And I'm like, heck yeah, like let's do it. Because I still very connected with that, and I'm always like, I love the battle scene. Yeah. I love the urban dance scene as well, but like I don't know what it is with the battle scene. I always wish, I was out there like battling. And that's why now, like we have this thing, like she's training me right now, in breaking. And I told her, I was like, I want to see that's like, amazing. I want to be on that side and I want to like know what it feels like. Right. So, my goal is that, I'm going to enter a jam with her. And my goal is to get out of the prelims, at least.
Hell yeah!
So she was like,
coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But she was like, that might take years, and I was like,
hey, she's keeping it real, right?
And I was like, hey, you know what? It's gonna take years, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it, and I think it will overall like we're very close, but I even think it'll even like bring us even closer. Yeah.
When it happens, we're gonna bring you back on the podcast, and then we're gonna
Kinjaz.
Oh,
damn! I'm just gonna have to find out who the judges are.
No, but I mean, again, man, I have to give you props because, for the parents that are listening, like there are, it's not easy to know how to balance that push as well as knowing what your kids are naturally wanting to do, right? Yeah. So sometimes we kind of do one too much versus the other, like so much discipline where the kid hates the thing that they do and like never wants to touch it again. Or there's the other side where there's like do whatever you want and the kid just kind of goes and like drifts anywhere and doesn't really do anything. Yeah. But I like how you read your kid and know like, okay, she's kind of getting burnt out. I don't want her to stop this, but I still feel like I want to encourage her to stay at it to some degree. And that just goes to show like the relationship that you guys have is that strong and like you care so much about what she wants as well as what you already see that she's really talented and gifted in, and you want to keep, harnessing that and growing that. That's
for
amazing.
Sure. Yep.
That's really
yep.
good.
So, because I figure I got 3 more years with her, and then she'll, you know, like whatever she decides to do with her life. So I'm like, you know what, like let's make the last 3 years like meaningful.
Man, you made me cry right now, dude. That was really good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the lab. So you guys were on World of Dance season 1 and now season 2.
Hey.
What's that like? What was that whole experience like?
Oh, it was crazy. It was every single day, like 10 hours a day. That's where I got the cherry pickers / burpees idea. But we would start off, well, we would go from like 12 to like 8 every day, just kind of building material, learning new material, but also training. We conditioned a lot, whether it was for conditioning purposes or because we were being annoying or whatever. Yeah.
But I have this preface that I have to set the stage of why she even did the World of Dance, and there's always a story.
Yeah.
But so I'm not even gonna name any names, but like, you know,
Name some names.
But there was another crew, right, that Logan was on.
What?
And basically found out just through the grapevine that they were doing World of Dance, and I was like, oh, you're not gonna ask Logan to do it? I was like, all right, I'll go find her another crew then. So that's when I went to Val and Kara. I was like, hey, you guys thinking about doing World of Dance? And I was like, I just heard. I was like, I think you guys could do great. What do you think? And you know, I think got the juices flowing in their mind, and they were like, you know what, like might be a good idea. I'm not gonna say I was the central person that kind of pushed into doing it, but I was like, Logan will but I was like, Logan will be 100% down, you know. And my whole time I was just like, I had revenge on my mind. And Logan, I was just like, we're getting revenge.
Oh my!
I'm letting you know.
This is part 2 of the movie. This is number 2.
Yep.
Like Ari Gold right now.
But long story short, yep, we got the revenge. And people know, just so that you know, whoever's listening to this podcast, you know, you got God.
I don't want to get on this guy's bad side.
Man, the dots are like connected in my head. I was like, oh, I see it. I get it.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
So how was the experience though? Like being on the show? Was this your first time doing a dance TV show, or?
It was what, second? Yeah, because I did So
okay.
You Think the kids one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely like probably one of the most stressful experiences I've ever had ever.
But it was dope because she was with her crewmates.
Yeah,
That's what made it kind of the experience like worth it. Like when she was on So You Think, it was a solo.
just solo. Yeah.
So that one was crazy too, though.
Mm-hmm.
That one was crazy too, though. But
That definitely brought. I feel like our chemistry throughout the whole WOD experience, like just like grew our connection. But yeah, no, it was so stressful.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean, from when Kinjaz was on season 1 with you guys, there was no sense of like, oh yeah, they're just kids. Like we don't need to worry about that.
Oh, for sure.
Like 0% of that. We're like, I'm actually like the most afraid of these kids right now. Because like, man, you guys are. I mean, yeah, as young as you guys are, but the way that you guys train like with the big kids, right? You guys take the advanced classes and you're like killing it in all these classes, and here you are in the quote unquote the big leagues, right? Going up against, you know, adults, right? Was that from your guys' perspective scary on your part, or was it like, nah, we got this?
We were definitely scared because we were sort of like underdogs the first season because we hadn't really.
and just seeing like the talent.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Like Logan was just so much inspiration on that stage. She was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy this experience because just to be on the stage with
everyone
like, you know,
that we
you
look
guys
up
and
to.
Keone and Marian, as twins, and dang, like there was just the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
You know, it was Logan. I think was just really
more inspired.
inspired.
That's great.
You know, inspired. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
But yeah, it was. We were scared going into it, so that's why we trained really, really hard for it. Because if anything, like, as long as we just put in the work, I guess, at least try and do it more than we think others would, that would probably be the best bet. Yeah.
So coming out of season 1, I'm sure you guys took away whatever you guys took away, learn your lessons and whatever to apply to season 2, right? Mm-hmm. So what was your guys' intention or focus? Was there any sort of different approach going into season 2?
I think not starting out as strong, because then we could top each performance as the show progresses, so it doesn't look like we got worse from the last week. Also bringing in storytelling with our pieces and like different themes and concepts and kind of changing it up, not looking the same every week. What else? Well, we had Sienna second season.
I think too, definitely like for season 2, they definitely had a mindset to be like, instead of being like, we're just glad to be here, like we deserve to be here, and like we're gonna try to like do the best that we possibly can. So I definitely think that was the different mindset that they had, and they were just like, we're going in to literally like try to win this competition, you know. So, you know, I think it'll, you know, like they're still on it right now, you know, obviously, you know, they had their first performance, and the duels are coming up soon, so you know you'll get to kind of like see a glimpse of that. But I think definitely for this season, this current season that they're on, like their mindset was like a lot different. So I think it was less stressful though.
Yeah, it was less stressful because we knew what we were getting into and we had more prepared, I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, we're enjoying the process of watching you guys kill it week after week. So props to you guys for that.
Props.
Props. What do you aspire to be? Like, what do you have a dream of? Like, you see yourself, you know, in 20 years, you're gonna be doing this.
I'm like, I kind of watch everyone that I look up to, and I I don't want to pin myself to like one thing, but I'm hoping to become someone that not only people look up to, but is sort of involved in like everything that I do right now. It's kind of hard to define what I want to be.
Do you feel like dance is going to be a part of your life at that point?
Yeah, for sure. I want to be involved in dance for the rest of my life, whether it's doing it or helping it or whatever.
Yes!
Yeah.
You're welcome, dance.
Yeah, I definitely...
Dance, this is for you.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to be. I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and I'm hoping that like those checkpoints and will lead to who I become in like 20 years or whatever.
Do you have like a dance dream? Like, if I could just do this.
Dance dream?
Yeah.
One of them has always been traveling. Yeah. Traveling is a huge one.
Oh, that's gonna come.
I feel like that's
easy. We can make that happen.
Oh, dance dream.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
We can let you sit on that. That might be like a lightning round question where you just got to like fire that one.
I don't even know what my dance dream is. Okay, but yeah, continue.
Yeah. What do you do for fun, like outside of dance? I mean, you said you sing. Is that like something that you still do for fun? Or?
For fun, yeah. If I ever have time, I'll usually play on my ukulele and just like sing.
So sick.
I love hanging out with my family. I like cooking too with my grandma.
Wow.
When I'm not dancing. But usually if I'm not like doing like dancing like I guess professionally, I just like dancing. Just like on my own. If you know, like I guess like freestyling, but like no cameras,
exploring.
That's definitely for sure.
If you couldn't dance anymore, what would you be doing?
Hopefully speaking like this.
Yeah, so I hear that you're really
doing
into
it now.
podcasts, right?
Yes,
Like you listen
I
to a
love
lot of
podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Do you have a favorite podcast?
Well, there's this guy. I don't know if it's considered a podcast, but it's like a YouTube video where all you have to do is listen to him talk. But his name is Leo Gura. His YouTube is called actualize.org.
Okay.
And he talks. I feel like he's one of the best because he covers almost everything. He covers like spirituality, psychology, how to be like successful, and it's like catered to like whatever your craft is, which is cool. And he has this one about art, and it's just like perspective is like crazy. But yeah, I really like applying what he talks about to like what I'm doing.
For
Yeah, she'll try to get me to listen to him like while we're cooking, and I'm like, can we just listen to music? Or just vibe out to the oven or something. But it's cool. It's cool. Like, yeah, we have listened to like podcasts together because she's like, you need to raise your frequency now.
You're 15. How are you talking about stuff like this?
Man, I swear, yeah.
I was trying to play outside still.
Yeah, she's interesting because a lot of her friends, like she does have a lot of good friends that are her age, but I think like her really...
my really good friends are...
like her best friends.
Val Pal is one of my best friends.
Like they're like...
she's how many times
20s and 30s years old, and I'm like, is this normal?
Yeah.
Go play outside or something. But you know what? I just told her, I'm like, you're going to meet people along the way that will also have like that same mindset as you. And I think, you know, kids right now, like they may not have like that same mindset as her right now.
I'm hoping to change that though. That's one
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
Helping, like with like, I'll try to share stuff with like some of my friends, whether they're interested in it or not. Or if one of my friends is like going through a hard time in their life, I'll like recommend like, hey, maybe listen to this podcast because I've listened to a lot of them and I'm like, this might help them. And then maybe they'll be interested and then they'll be like, oh, I should go to this one.
Can you give that to us one more time? What was the podcast?
Oh, I was saying how like if some of my friends are going through a hard time, I'll suggest a podcast for them to listen to, and I'll leave it up to them if they want to like really look into it or not.
So which
Yeah,
the
the
name
name
of
of
the
the
name?
podcast.
What was his name?
Oh, his name's Leo Gura.
Leo
How do you spell
Gura.
that?
Leogura.
And don't worry, I'll find it and I'll put it in the show notes.
Or it's usually under actualized.org.
Actualize.org. Gotcha.
That's really good.
Or Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Hey,
Tony Robbins.
Listen to Tony Robbins. Goodness. That's wild, dude.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to comprehend that because when I was your age, I was just really into Nintendo 64.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Logan did like playing video games when she was younger.
Street Fighter.
Oh.
Resident Evil.
Oh, she was.
Wow, that's my favorite game in the world.
Really? I haven't played it in
World.
years.
She would, yeah.
Love that game.
Some super inappropriate games, and I'm like,
Grand
you know what?
Theft Auto.
I don't think she'd go out there
Yeah,
and like
you got good
shoot
mentors. Yeah, you good.
No, she's not gonna go find zombies
people, you
outside.
know? But she would video game me. I mean, not from a point of like the hours that she would just
I
play.
used to play so much.
Yep.
But that's before I found dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yep.
You recently
You
taught
know,
your
it's
first
hand-eye
class, right?
coordination.
Yes, yes. I recently taught my first class
Hey.
with Akko from Japan.
Yeah.
Hey.
Congratulations. How was that like?
It was crazy being on the other side because I'm so used to being a student in class. But this time, it was like, I feel like I had to take more initiative in like actually making the energy of the class like uplifting and like making sure it doesn't go dead. Like that was a huge part in like teaching. But I look forward to like doing more of that, hopefully.
You like teaching?
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to like teach. I think travel and teaching is something a lot of people aspire to do. But yeah, traveling and teaching.
A little more context to that day because I actually saw her that day before she taught, and her and Akko both took Bing's class, and then they taught their
Of
class.
course.
Yep.
Endless pool of energy.
She's like a gym, like literally like a gym rat. You know, she's just like one of those kids that will, you know, like what she said, like what do you like to do for fun? That's what she does. You know?
Yeah.
So
That's good. I mean, again, the obsessive nature of the thing that you love, like you're going to find everything that you do outside of that thing is still going to feed that thing, right? Like
Yeah.
even if you are watching a movie or reading a book, you're somehow going to think about it in terms of dance or whatever it is the thing that you love. That's awesome.
And sometimes I forget that because I'll be watching a movie. We would have like movie night, and then middle of the movie I'd be like, can we just like watch dance videos?
Yeah, I know this is an Oscar award-winning movie, but there's this new video on YouTube that just dropped.
But I forget that I could like pull inspiration from other things too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like remember that.
That's really good. That's really good. What's next? What are you planning for? What's on the radar?
I am training for Silverback this year.
Okay.
I'm on. Am I allowed to say it? What I'm doing right now?
as far as
confidentiality agreements.
But
They
you
can't
mean
be
if you
breached.
want to say it, we'd love to hear it.
Oh, okay. Just kidding.
Oh, you can't.
Well, she's on a
Show.
show right
On a
now,
show.
but she can't
Okay.
really say
Yeah.
like what it is.
I'm sure we'll find out about it soon enough.
Yeah.
Well, if this episode airs around the same time that airs, then I'll include it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, there you go, man.
Yep.
Mike foul.
Yep.
Okay. I'm also like, I'm able to actually like choreograph and create more and hopefully teach more. Yeah, I feel like right now this chapter is like a lot more like on this side rather than like this. I'm still always going to be a student, but like I'm able to like kind of share what I'm like what I've learned for a long time with like other people.
Yeah.
Whether it's through talking like this or like teaching a class or just teaching my dad. I've noticed like this part of my life I'm like passing some of my stuff on, which is like crazy.
I just feel like ever since Arena, like she had like an awakening. Something
That
just-
was a checkpoint.
It was crazy. It was
That was a
so
checkpoint.
insane, and just like what her motivation is, and just kind of her growth just from that, that process. And
That
meeting
performance
people.
was crazy. I was on the side, not expecting something to just blow my mind right away because the show just started. So I was like, "Oh, we're gonna ease into this." Like, I know Logan's gonna do something crazy, but it can't be like absolutely mind blowing. And then I was just like, "Oh, this is special right now. This is really special what you did up there." And I mean, I'm no critic of dance, but I was just like, "Damn!" It was just a lot of dimensions of detail that I really appreciated, and the musicality and the timing of the movements and the pictures was just like, what the freak? But yeah, please continue. That blew my mind. Still
Yeah.
does today, and I'm glad that's an awakening point.
And you
because I was-
choreographed that.
Yeah, I
whole thing.
choreographed. That was the first time I choreographed a stage performance all by myself.
Yeah.
all her
your stage
movements.
performances are crazy.
I would just say ever since then it was just like the perfect storm of just meeting people and being inspired, and like shout out to you guys and Cinestage and Arena. I think it was just a magical weekend, especially for
thank
Logan,
you.
and like definitely looking forward to more of those in the future. But what you got out of it was like times 1,000, so
Oh, another thing is like I learned about this thing called like law of attraction. I've told you about this.
Yeah.
Right? But like I noticed like the more I put into something, obviously the more I get out of it. But like manifesting it in like almost every way possible, whether that's thinking about it or like visualizing like exactly what I want. I did that for the Arena solo because I was like, I want this to be something like so great, and so like every ounce of like work, I was just like, I have to really work hard for this and manifest something so special. And it like the outcome was more than what I thought it could be. It was crazy.
Yeah. We felt it.
Yep.
The whole house felt it.
Yep.
And if you weren't there, it's on YouTube. So look for it.
Arena dance competition.
Yeah. No, it's so good. Every element was so good. Lightning round time.
Lightning round.
We need to have like a lightning round.
I know, we need
Yeah.
like sound effects.
Like a da-da-da-da, and then
All
like some
that.
lightning.
We're just gonna fire off some questions. You can't think. You just gotta go. You just gotta go off the top of your head.
Is he gonna do it too?
We go
That's
lightning
me.
round in 3, 2, 1. Favorite recording artist?
Triple Quest.
Favorite Kinja.
I can't say this! I can't say this!
Go. Just gotta go.
Do Bill and Impact count as one? Yes.
Yes,
they
fine.
do.
We'll give that to you.
Favorite movie?
Oh, Karate Kid.
Whoa.
Wait,
The
which
old one.
Okay, cool.
Dream battle. You have to battle somebody. It's a dream battle.
Ami.
Wow.
Favorite video game.
Resident Evil.
Oh.
Nice.
If you could eat meat right now, what would you eat?
Air?
Good answer. Good answer.
That is his type.
Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
Ooh.
Oh.
But you-
I like it.
She's like, Dad, I hate my clothes. I want to eat.
Dream collab.
God. I feel like I already had it. Probably Chris Martin and Larkin.
Wow. You hear that, guys?
Hear that?
Make that
Make
happen.
it happen, dude. Something that you would love for people to stop doing.
This is no. Oh my gosh, there's a lot.
Off the top, go.
Off the top.
Eating meat.
Ooh.
Something that you wish people would do more of.
Meditating.
Wow.
So enlightened.
Wow.
Man, that blew my mind.
I'm too inspired to think of questions.
I think we're lightning out. All right. That was good. That was a good lightning round.
That was good.
Okay, so we have this thing called Golden Rule. Everybody kind of has like a life mantra, right? Something that they live by. It could be something that someone else has said, like a quote, or something that you've kind of developed for yourself. What would be your golden rule?
Ooh. What is my golden rule? Ooh. I would say find something like a gift or talent that you have and figure out how that can help the world. As long as, like, I guess I'm still young, so this could all be wrong, but I feel right now that if you could find something that you really love to do and it helps the world at the same time, I think that's a win, because you just keep like doing what you love and you could offer that to the rest of the world. And then the people who see you or become inspired by you will do the same. And so that's how I feel like life, I guess, can evolve, is through like inspiring other people. And like, yeah. Oh, I have another one. I have two. Can I say it?
Yeah, say it.
Always do something that is out of your comfort zone, or it's so vague. I can't really. I feel like the only way for things to evolve is change and doing things that aren't contained in this like homeostasis sort of state. Like, I think getting out of your box in every aspect, I feel. So, yeah.
Wow.
Just like not to.
I am just jealous.
That's a lot to take in.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to take in.
That's why, man, like when we drive, I'm like, you're dropping too much knowledge on me. I can't download all this right now, dude.
That's good to have a lot though.
Oh yeah.
Rather than
Yep.
the opposite.
Yep.
You know,
For sure. I mean,
it's
that's
a good problem.
That's a great thing. What is special about us is that after she dances, or like after whatever she does at the end of the day, and we are doing something, usually driving home from like far distances, we just recap. We just recap the day.
A lot of talking.
And I would definitely, anyone, not just a kid, but anyone, if you can just try to recap your day with someone and just like try to just verbalize that, like you'll be pretty surprised. Or journal.
That's a
Or
good
journal.
way, yeah.
But you'll be surprised like how much meaningful shit that you guys have done. You know what I'm saying? Throughout your day. So it's cool. That's something that I really look forward to all the time with her.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I love it. I feel like what you guys are living and showing and just straight up being examples of is communication, and that being so key to every relationship, any type of relationship. You have to communicate, like you said, someone to debrief, someone to kind of unpack your day, unpack your thoughts, and exchange ideas, right? And I think that's so great that you guys have that. And Logan, I gotta say, man, I'm super I'm inspired by you and really encouraged to see how you're growing up within this dance community and within the scene, because it's so easy to get caught up with, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's just so easy to get distracted, you know, with social media being what it is and YouTube being what it is and TV shows and all this other stuff. And to go chase like the easy fame or whatever it is. But the way I see you intentionally seeking mentors, seeking people that you look up to, that you value not only their talent, but you value their lifestyle, you value the person that they are, and you want to be surrounded by that. And you're surrounding yourself with great people, you know, from UGF to the folks at the lab, and we love seeing you around here at Kinjaz all the time. Like it's great. And Herren, thanks so much for like raising an amazing daughter. Like you are a model parent to
she raises me sometimes.
That's what it is, right? The exchange, the communication.
You have an A+ in parenting right now, my friend.
Yes. Vegan dance dad. That's his name.
That's my handle, dude.
Hey, heck yeah.
0 posts.
Actually, another really cool thing that I saw that Logan did, I caught the end of one of the arena dance camp classes, and like during the class, I see Logan like pull out her notebook and start like writing down things, and I was just like in disbelief that this is in mid class, like it's in class. She pulls out the notebook and starts taking notes. I was just like, I didn't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say now.
Who does that?
I think that's what it is. You're very aware. You're very aware of what you want and also what you're doing. And so when you see something that applies to the thing that you want, you seize that moment and you take note of it. And that's not a very common thing. And so, yeah, that's really inspiring. And what you're doing, you are inspiring your current generation as well as the older generation, the ones that you looked up to. And you have a very, very promising dance career ahead of you. And I'm so excited to see what that looks like. We're all so super stoked. So
we're big fans.
Huge fans. So good job. Don't get cocky, you know. Keep staying humble.
Hey, stay humble.
We're just fans.
Yeah.
I tell her all the time, I'm like, man, I'm so glad you're not like me. You would just be like the biggest freaking. You would be battling kids like in the streets, and being in class like. Oh man, I'm so glad she's not like me. For real.
I love it. Go ahead and like plug where people can follow you, your socials and all that.
Instagram is at Logistx_UGF. Should I spell it? Or?
Yes, spell it, please.
LOGISTX_UGF. I don't really do Facebook.
And then just Facebook is just Logan Edra. You can find her there.
Use Twitter.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. She does have a YouTube, but it's just some old content, some embarrassing content. So you could see some singing videos.
We'll make sure to link that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but like so, like we do feel social media is important, but I think for her, like there's
that's another thing. Is like social media. I used to get caught up. And like kind of falling in that trap of like, oh, I have to put out content, I have to look good, I have to impress people. But now I'm just gonna like post whatever I want to post that is meaningful to me, and that not just for no reason, but like something that has meaning. And if people see it, then people see it. If they don't see it, then that's fine.
Yes.
Yep. Again,
that is the key. You win. You win life. You win social media. Followers.
Logan won social media. 0.
A million.
Again, that's something that like even older people our age, they don't get that. They view social media as like the highlight reel. Like I gotta fake the funk, but I'll tell you right now, people gravitate much more to what's real. So keep that up, keep that mentality up, and that's why we appreciate you, and you're going to keep inspiring folks.
Yeah.
Man, we can go forever. Again, like we feel like these things, we can keep asking questions, but we'll just bring you guys back another time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part 2.
Kinjam.
There it is.
Yeah.
Kinjam 2019.
We're going to have a specific battle called Dad and Daughter Battle.
Daddy-daughter battle?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Specific.
Catch me in the finals.
Calling everybody out.
Hey, the over 43 battle.
Manifest.
Over 43 battle though.
That's so good.
But there's some freestylers that would whoop.
Dude, there
and they're
are.
like 50 years old.
Those are the career freestylers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Logan, Herren, thank you guys so much for
guys.
stopping by. Thank you for dropping knowledge, just having a talk with us. This is really just a platform for us to literally engage with people that we are inspired by, people who we feel like are influential to the community, as well as inspire what's going on over here at Kinjaz. So thanks for stopping by. And Mike, you want to give us some little tools and tidbits?
Yeah. If you like the podcast, make sure to leave a comment, good or bad. We like to hear it all. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can get like every time that we drop a podcast. And also check out kinjazpodkast.com. That's podcast with a K.
What? Sorry, I just wanted to...
And, get some news.
Hey.
We're on Instagram.
Oh, we're on Instagram. Go ahead, Ben.
Kinjaz Podkast with a K.
Hey.
Podcast with a K. Always got to be the K.
Okay.
Always. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys
we
so much.
appreciate it. We're learning. We're maturing. We got Nick back there laughing at us.
Stop laughing at us.
We're changing up our setup all the time. This is our second video one.
Wow.
We're going.
Let us know.
This is our second
let
video.
me know whenever you have the next drinking
Arnell.
podcast.
We'll get you in here. Hey, you got some good games. You got some really good
That's
games.
Kinjaz Podcast After Dark.
Yeah, after
Well, thank you guys.
Kinjaz.